Today, we are going to learn how to hand wash dishes. Learning how to hand wash dishes is a very important skill because not every house or apartment has a dishwasher. Hand washing your dishes also allows you to make sure all of your food is completely off each dish. This is also important to know how to do if you ever plan to live on your own. We are going to learn how to hand wash dishes using a picture task analysis that is presented on the screen. There are 11 steps that will help you learn how to successfully hand wash dishes. To complete this task, you will need dishes that need to be cleaned, dish soap, 2 clean dish rags, and a dish rack for your dishes to dry with. The first step is to start with a clean sink. It is important to start with a clean sink so that you are not dirtying the dish anymore if there are other items, food, or dirty utensils in the sink. Starting with a clean sink will ensure that your dish will get as clean as possible. The second step is to put the plug in the sink. The plug stops the water from draining down the sink, therefore, the plug allows you to fill up the sink with as much water as you want. We want to fill up the sink so we can place all the dishes that we are trying to wash in the sink immersed in water. The third step says to run warm water in the sink. When you are using the sink in our classroom, you can access the warm water by turning the faucet to the left. This is not the same for all sinks, but for washing dishes in our classroom, remember that the warm water is to the left. Once the water is on, I typically like to place one hand under the water so that I can make sure the water is at a perfect warm temperature. The fourth step is to add a small squeeze of dish soap. A little bit of soap can go a long way. When adding dish soap into the water, make sure that you only pump a little bit of soap, or how I like to remember it, the size of a pea, soap into the water. The fifth step is to fill the sink halfway with water. Filling the sink halfway is important because you want to make sure that you have enough water to cover all of your dirty dishes. During this step, you will also see the water get very soapy and fill with bubbles. You want to make sure that the dishes are covered with soapy water. The sixth step is to put the dishes into the sink. I like to place each dish in the sink one by one to make sure that each dish is fully immersed in the soapy water. You want the dishes to sit in the soapy water to help all of the leftover food and crumbs soak off. The seventh step is to wash each dish using a clean dishcloth. This allows you to remove any excess mess on the dish by using the clean soapy water to clean it off. The eighth step is to rinse each item in clean soapy water. This is a very important step. This allows you to wash off all the soapy particles and rinse the dish completely. You want to make sure that the dish is completely cleaned in warm, clean water. The ninth step is to put the clean dish into the dish rack. Make sure to place each dish in an organized fashion so that all of your clean dishes can fit into the dish rack and dry properly. Typically, your plates go in the back, then your bowls and cups, and there's a separate space to place your silverware. The 10th step is to drain the sink. To do this, you must simply pick up the drain that you placed in the sink on step 2 and lift it up. As soon as you remove the drain, the water will start leaving the sink. The 11th and final step is to rinse the sink. To complete this step, you must turn the water back on and keep it on until all the contents have left the sink. You want to make sure that there are no longer any food particles or soap particles in the sink. Finally, you can dry the dishes. Although this is not part of the washing the dish picture task analysis, drying your dishes is very important. To dry the dishes, you can take a clean dish rag, Move it around each dish until all of the water particles are completely gone. If you do not want to dry your dishes right away, you can leave them in the dish rack to dry off. And that is how you successfully hand wash dishes and dry them if you want to.